Right, so carrying on with this, getting this Pathfinder front wheel to fit in the Hawkstone front end. Yeah, so I made this spindle up in the previous video, and I've just made a couple of spacers from this is just some stock I had. That is not quite the right ID. That is a little bit loose on there, so I think this is 16 ID. It really needs to be 15, but just to get this moving along, I'll use these for now. Can always turn down something else later. They're only spacers after all. I might even get some stainless, do it in stainless. Yeah, so what I now need to do is get this set up on the wheel with the spacers, and then work out how I'm going to do this torque thing to stop this rotating. Oh yeah, these spacers, one is slightly longer than the other. The short one needs to go that side because this is slightly more wider off the rim than that side. So what I'll do, I'll get this set up, get it fitted, and well, we'll see how we get on. Right, so there we are, spacer each side, got the little thingies on, keepers. Right, on the Pathfinder, this is actually on the other side, the brake plate, but I can't see any reason why I can't put it this side. Except for the only thing that might be a problem is the cable run, because obviously that's going to sit like that, actually, that sort of angle. So the brake cable is going to come between here somewhere, so I'll just have to route that out of the way. Yeah, so yeah, I can't see any reason why that won't, unless it'll be on the top out of the way rather than hanging off the bottom, which it would be the other side. Yeah, I think we'll go with that. So all I need to do now is make a little something to stop this rotating. That's the one that is for the proper hubs that go on here, this little thing here. So I think what I'm probably going to have to do is make like a block, piece of aluminium or something, plate in there. I can use these holes that someone has already drilled. I don't think these are meant to be here, I think someone's put these in, and they do pretty much line up with the slot in here in this brake plate. So yeah, I think if I make something to go in there, I can then bolt it through somehow. Yeah, it's a pity there is so much gap there, but this is obviously a lot thinner hub for the later forks. Right, so let me see what I've got, see what I can dig out, and see what we can make up. I'll have some of this round aluminium bar. I think if I cut a piece to fit between there and there, I can mill a couple of flats on that. I think, yeah, should be able to mill a couple of flats, thread in the back here, and just bolt it through one of them holes. I can't see any reason why that wouldn't work. Right, Plan A. We'll see if Plan A is going to work or not. I think actually while I'm here, before I get this in the milling machine, before I cut this down to length as well, whilst you'll also have to face off this end, I think I might drill a hole so I can tap that out later. Might be easier to do it now before I start milling flats in this. So I'll set that up and we'll do that. I'm now wondering if I'm actually overthinking this a little bit. I was just then checking, because this is where the damper goes in there. I was then checking for clearance all around it if I was to put a bolt through one of these holes. But I've now twisted that back plate round, that brake plate, and I can actually get that to line up with the hole where this bolt goes through for the damper. That will line perfectly up with that slot. So I'm now thinking what I could do is mill some flats on the bolt coming this way rather than that way. Probably will need a little spacer in there just to make sure it all holds nicely, and keep the bolt in the right place, because obviously that's got to tighten up. Yeah, so that would then solve all the problems really. That goes in there that way, in that slot. Spacer in there just to hold the bolt in the correct place. In fact, that bolt, although this isn't actually the right one, this isn't actually the bolt here, I think it's the bolt for there. That bolt would then be, I reckon, the right length. Yeah, I think we might try that first. Right, Plan B. Okay, so I've got that bolt in there, in that collet block, little mill in there, and I've got my, you can see that there, my little depth thing. So I then touch that off on that head of that bolt on the flat. That's pretty much zeroed. So all I've got to do is take 2.5mm off this side, 2.5mm off that side, and that should give me the right amount to fit in the slot. Right, so I'll get on and do that. Just take about 1mm off to start with, just see how it goes. Just about there. quite easily. Down where it should be. There. Right, so I'll just do the same to this side. There we are, one little milled bolt, and yeah, fits in there. In fact, I could have made that a little bit wider. I could always do another one, but just for proof of concept. Right, let's see, how am I going to do this? I'm going to have to put the bolt in first, and then the rest of it, I think. Yeah, right. Right, so there we are. That will sit in there. Yes, all I need to do now is just make a little spacer to fit up in this gap, which will just pull that bolt tight up against here. Yeah, so I'll just find a piece of could just make a little aluminium one. I don't need to use that great big stuff. I'll just find something smaller diameter, make a little spacer up to go in there, and I think that will be done. Right, well I think that's saved a lot of messing about. That should work just fine, I think. Not too bad to assemble. Just have to sort of line the slot up and slide it in. With the axle and spacers already in, that goes in quite easy. Then just put these end bits on and the nuts, and yeah, I think that should be okay. And obviously this will be sort of like that sort of angle. Yeah, so the only tricky bit is really going to be routing the brake cable. But yeah, I can't see any reason why that won't work. Might even make a with that other piece of where do I put it? This piece here. I might actually use that. Make a spacer for there rather than this a steel one. Oops, get it in shot. It does help. Yeah, that might actually be a better. I can cut that down, drill that out. That would actually be better than this, I think, that side. And possibly even make one on the other side. The only thing is going to have to make sure it just clears the bottom of this. But I can always turn this down a little bit, turn the diameter down. Yeah, so I've got plenty of this, so I can also make one for the other side. I think, can I? And this trouble with this side is that I would have to just step it in a little bit because it goes onto the inside of this cup here, straight onto the bearing. So yeah, I just have to make a little little stepped piece for that side. Yeah, I think that would be better actually than steel. Does look a little bit spindly like that, but yep, I think that will do it.